My name is Brenda Mattingly. I've been coming to New Life for about 5 months now. And just recently, in July, I was faced with making a pretty big decision. An old colleague of mine contacted me through Facebook, and I hadn't seen her in about 12 years, actually. This kind of happened completely out of the blue. I wasn't applying for any kind of jobs or anything, so I wasn't expecting this, but she had a job offer for me she wanted to discuss with me. And so we talked on the phone, and she described to me a little bit about the job and how it's called a job share, where it would be part-time and I would be making a lot more money than I am now, close to my daughter's school, and it was perfect hours. Everything about this job just screamed perfect. And so I thought, wow, she said, well, talk it over with your husband and get back to me about it. So I called Steve on the phone, and he was on his way home from work, actually, and we were talking, and I told him how much, it paid, and he was like, what? Are you crazy? Take this job, what's the decision? Just take it. And so, but he was also kidding too. He knows, from our past when it comes to decision making, that it's important to pray about it. This was about a week and a half process, and during this week, she invited me to come out to her office so that I could see in person what office I'd be working at, and that way I could get more of a feel for what this job would be like. And she was going to train me, and she showed me around, and she and I talked about my situation with my daughter, because currently I have the perfect hours. God blessed me with this awesome opportunity at her school, so I don't have to put her in daycare, and I don't have to find someone to watch her in the summertime. So my friend knew this, and she was encouraging me, telling me, well, don't worry about your daughter. If you have to call in sick, I'll take care of it. I'll help you out. And she made it sound so enticing and everything. And so right there at the office talking to her, I was like, okay, let's try this, let's go for it. So, I was thinking about it the whole way home, and then when I got home, I just didn't feel right about it. It just didn't sit well with me at all. I felt anxious, confused, and I was like, Lord, you got to really help me with this, because I do not want to mess up the blessing that you had already given me with my daughter, by making the wrong decision. And I was like, I had actually wished at the time that I could hear an audible voice and hear him say, yes or no. And this overwhelming emotion just came over me when I got home. I was just crying, I was like, what is going on? Steve came home from work and was like, oh no, what did I do now? And thinking it was him. And I was like, no, it's just this job opportunity. I cannot get a good feeling about this. I don't know why, because it sounds so perfect. And I said, I know the money would be great, but I've got to call her back, and I've got to ask her maybe for a little bit more time. So when I talked to her on the phone, she said, Brenda, I'm so glad you called me, because I need to be honest with you about this position. I am so upset with this doctor's office right now that any day now I could walk out the door myself and just quit. And I thought about your situation with your daughter, and I just don't want you to mess up what you've already got going with her. And because I can't promise you that in the middle of me training you that I could walk out. And when me and Steve heard her say that, it's just like this overwhelming peace just fell on me. And I was like, thank you, Lord. This was the confirmation I was looking for. This is what gave me peace, knowing that this wouldn't have been a good decision if I had made this decision and just went for it. I would have regretted it. It wouldn't have worked out for my daughter. And when I felt that peace, I just knew that this wasn't it, and this wasn't God's timing. And and I told her, I said, well, this just isn't right. And I had no regrets ever since I made that decision, have had complete peace about it. And if an opportunity like this ever comes again, I know now to be in tune with that kind of peace. So I'll know that it will be right next time, because when a decision comes from the Lord, there will be peace about it, and I won't have to agonize over whether it's the right decision or not. I just felt like it was important, to share my experience when it comes to, this particular moment when it comes to making big decisions. And that's my story.